270 a win. We don't know who it's going to be, but we can make a prediction. Let's get this going because it's going to either be Trump or Harris. Right now, let's figure this out. It is August 1st. Let's go. Alright, so elections season is fully here. It's gonna go absolutely batshit crazy, and the only way you know this is because we now have a little bit of polling data from the previous month when Joe Biden dropped out. Now it's Kamala Harris going to take over for the Democrats, but Donald Trump is still a nominee for the Republicans, and this is a good thing. Now, as I say that, polling numbers are starting to come in, and they're all over the place. So how about we just hop on over, let's start doing our maps, because we know that it is time for we the people to make sure that we have everything correct. So if we step aside here, and then now we have this obvious poll right here. So what you say, we take a look at, should we just go off and let's just start off with the easy, safe GOP states. And this is really easy, guys. We already know exactly who they're going to be. There's no other discussion here. Okay, these are really easy. I mean, we just keep going down here. Wyoming, Utah, and as you guys know now, I'm going to put this one as the most likely scenario just because Harris is absolutely batshit crazy as a border czar who flooded the Texas border with illegal immigrants, and she could care less. Why? Because she wants the illegal votes. So Texas now, because of the drugs, because of the illegal crossings, because of her lack of awareness or lack of doing her job in Texas at the southern border, especially in the El Paso region, is now going to solidly come home to Donald J. Trump and the GOP. So that's really easy. Then we hit off, Oklahoma, Kansas, both parts of the little Nebraska here, and we're going to go over Omaha. But you know what? The Omaha area, I'm just going to put it solid. We're going to go with the Dakotas. Really simple. Iowa, straight up and down right here. Arkansas, Louisiana. If you really don't think this is the most likely scenario for this, you're up in the night, you're kind of batshit crazy. Now, I will say this. With the GOP gaining Vice President for J.D. Vance, Ohio, you're there. You're coming home, baby. Now, Florida, because of Kamala Harris's illegal immigration and all of her statutes on, basically on socialism and, championing and making sure that illegal immigrants, especially from Cuba, are not being heard. They have started the flipping the last GOP race with 2020 and going for Donald Trump. You've seen that in not only Miami-Dade County, you've seen that up in the Jacksonville area, you've seen that over in the Orlando area, and it's just going to keep going. Tampa Bay is another one. So Florida, you're going to be solid. And then obviously, we got the state of South Carolina. But now, when we start to go over to the Democrat side, this is really going to be easy. You guys exactly know how this is going to go. These leftist cities and these left loonies are going to absolutely keep going, kicking the can down the road, because to them, we are a threat to democracy. Well, good, because we've never been a democracy. How many times have I got to say this over and over and over? We, the United States, we the people, are a constitutional republic. And the GOP is starting to drop the ball with the establishment rhinos, or the GOPE, but we're starting to filter them out. We're starting to get into the mainstream, we the people, America first people. But the Democrats, they're tried and true, vote blue, no matter who, whatever. So let's just go down and let's just kill these stupid Democrat states, should we? And I shouldn't say stupid, they're probably good people, but the way they vote is just batshit banana republic crazy. Alright, so obviously right here on the West Coast, California, Hawaii, I'm sorry, I apologize to the state of Alaska. You're safely and easily GOP hands, even though I disagree with some of your picks lately, especially at the congressional and the Senate level, but hey, it is what it is. Now, these are going to keep going down. Obviously, Boston, Massachusetts is going to show out, Rhode Island, the swamp itself, Maryland, which is a sad organization right there, because look at all the crime in Baltimore, but these idiots keep going. They literally practice the same thing of the definition of insanity. Nothing changes, nothing gets better, but these deities are sitting here like, well, we need to vote Democrat because, yeah, okay, how the hell has that went for you forever? Yeah, it hasn't. So, Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, we can easily figure this out. New Hampshire, I'm going to leave it alone, but New York is going to tilt basically, but it's not going to be solid. And the same will go for the state of Virginia. Now, Virginia, because of, the movies like Northman, North of Richmond, who brought an eye of voter awareness, shall I say. They brought that into the mainstream and made sure that, hey, people in Richmond, people in Portsmouth, people just around other counties, they know exactly what's going to be transpiring now. Now another stronghold, sadly, is going to be New Mexico, but not by very much. Now, let's take a look, shall we, at some of our, what we would call the swing states. Now, here's where the data is starting to take a little bit over. We are no longer in safe Republican, safe Democrat hands. Now we're starting to see these little bit of the swing states here. And as we take a look at these, let's take a look at some of these polling, shall we? I mean, right now, we got Trump-Harris after Joe Biden dropped out. And then with this, Harris got a slight bump, as you see here, and so did Trump, especially after the assassination attempt. But Trump is still clearly in somewhat of a lead, and still by 1.4, which is fantastic. However, with this comes the polling data, and a lot of these polling data are going for Donald Trump because Biden was obviously going to drop out. We already knew that. People like Vivek Ramaswamy, people like even Taylor Lorenz has called this, that said Biden's going to drop out. Now, Harry Sisson, who's basically an F-boy for Joe Biden, we already knew he's not going to sit here and admit that Joe Biden has any decline. But with Biden not re-electing or rerunning, it opened the door for Kamala Harris, which I really didn't think possible because she has been a dumpster fire for a VP. But this will have to determine everything as we keep going forward. So let's keep going down this list, shall we? So, for the Democrats, I really think that you guys are going to narrowly keep, and I mean narrow, like razor-thin margins. We're talking barely anything in the state of Minnesota. Now, if the proposed VP nominee from the state of Minnesota, who's not very well liked, especially in the Twin Cities, he's just not. People don't like him. Colorado, you're going to be one of those that's going to be some of a tilt as well, and very lean tilt because of Kamala Harris's practice in the state of California with marijuana laws. She locked up a lot of good people for marijuana violations that really deterred a lot of people in her state. But this is kind of where the fanfare is kind of over and done. Now, we go look at other places like New Hampshire, who's going to not be a Kamala supporter. People are going to come out for Trump in that state. Why? Because New Hampshire is one of those that is going to, they don't really like incumbents, so they're not going to protect incumbents. So there's that. The other thing is, the rest of the way, this is not going to look very good for the Democrats at all, but at the presidential level. There is going to be a lot of ticket splitting, and I hate to see that. What ticket splitting is, for those of you who don't know, is that when you vote for a certain party for the president, and you vote completely opposite party for all the basically middle or down ballots as far as U.S. Senate, U.S. House, the gubernatorial races, and all your House and Senate districts inside your own state legislature or state assemblies. However, because we're going to take a look now at the state of Pennsylvania. What is going on with the state of Pennsylvania is one of two things. You got East versus Western Pennsylvania. You've got basically the western side, which is always going to be about blue-collar hard work, and then you've got the Philadelphia side on the east side, which is more mainstream, high-rise, big jobs, concerned by big tech and big business. This is going to split, but because of the economy over the last 4 years, this is how this is going to go. And I'm going to say this right here, right now. they're coming into GOP hands. The state of North Carolina, which I absolutely love to death, you are going to be leaning to more than likely GOP. Same with everything going down with election integrity laws in the state of Georgia, especially after 2020. People are waking up. Now, the Atlanta and the Atlanta suburbs, they're going to sit here and say, well, we need to keep voting Democrat. But everywhere else, especially in rural counties, there's going to be a mass turnout on November 5th for the GOP. But in places like Savannah, Georgia, maybe turning the tide and coming over, that is something we're going to have to see. And obviously, if you can join us right here on Raw and Real on election night, because we are going to do a basically 5-hour live stream on that night. So please like, subscribe, keep up to date with us, because we are going to hammer this home. But as far as Georgia is concerned, Georgia, you're coming into GOP hands. Right there, Donald Trump is looking very, very, very nice. Okay? Now, May 2nd district, you're going to be in GOP hands now. Now, some of your others may not be. But let's take a look at the state of Michigan. Now, you got Ann Arbor, you got Detroit, and you got some of the other places inside Michigan that are basically saying, hey, look, we don't have an auto industry anymore. Our capitalistic society is pissing away by the wayside. And this is not okay. The black communities, like I said last month, they're pissed. They're watching their neighborhoods be infiltrated by illegals, and all the illegals are basically taking future black homes and future black spaces of living. And they're starting to see the concentrations around some of these major cities like Chicago, Detroit, even Atlanta, even Charlotte, even down in Tennessee and Nashville, Knoxville, which is already GOP safe. But the black voters are starting to see these, and they're looking at like, where the hell do we belong? And then you got people like Dr. Ben Carson, who is a Republican, has literally said for a long time now, but he's starting to get more traction, that, hey, listen, get off that Democrat plantation narrative and just vote and see how your life goes into GOP hands. And that is what's going to happen. Now, the suburban white population, and we're talking like the outside the metro areas of Ann Arbor and also, Detroit, they're going to sit here and look at not only the polling data, which is skewing for Trump right now, they're also looking at their lives over the last 4 years. And they're going to literally turn around and say, yeah, we're going with the GOP because we cannot take another dumpster fire. Now, over in Wisconsin, basically the same thing. Now, outside Madison, Green Bay, and Milwaukee, you're going to have a huge influx of GOP supporters. Now, you look at Gen Z up in the state of Wisconsin, they're going to say, look, my parents are struggling, okay? My relatives are struggling. I'm struggling. The struggle is real. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this right now. Those college-educated whites that may not go after the grandiose jobs, but they're looking for any and all jobs right now. And they're sitting here saying, damn it, we matter too. And we're starting to see a millennial shift and a generational shift with Gen Z. They're going to lean into GOP hands. Now, a lot of them may vote third party, because third party candidates, even though they don't win, they're starting to see that there's going to be a little bit more than just the two-party system. However, they know that this is going to either be Harris or Trump, and they're coming for the GOP because they want their life back. They want it back so badly. So Wisconsin, you're coming over into GOP, more than likely scenario. The state of Arizona, let's take a peek there. Now, you look at Arizona as far as maybe down with what Mesa did. But now, after what happened with between Katie Hobbs and Kari Lake in 22, you're starting to see a shift that election integrity is flawed, and the in-person ballots are going to come in the drop boxes, and then the in-person voting on the day of is going to be a massive turnout for the GOP. But now, we need to make sure that every mail-in ballot that Democrats love to use, especially in the Mesa metro area, especially around Phoenix, needs to be turned away and turned down. We need that messaging to be basically shut off as far as Arizona. Because Arizona, as far as President Trump is concerned, you're coming with us. And this will put easily Arizona in that nice scenario. Now, you look at the other place of the state of Nevada with Clark County, especially the Las Vegas area and the Las Vegas metro area. You're coming home. Now, Rio, you're going to have your own little say as far as that's concerned. But most of Nevada is already going GOP. But with the influx of illegals into the Las Vegas area with these migrant surges, which is Democrat planned, they're looking for all the jobs that others don't want to do, taking them, pissing off the people and the citizens, the legal citizens, and then legal migrants of Las Vegas. They're looking at them and saying, hey man, thanks for screwing us over. I thought we were supposed to be all one people. No, you turned your back. You're doing what's good for you and you alone. Therefore, screw you. We're going to vote for Donald Trump because I want all you guys out of here. And that is what the legal ones are literally telling the illegals. Listen, man, we come through the right way. We're sick of your BS. You gotta go. And this is how that's gonna go. Easily into Donald Trump's hands, which is fantastic. This is what we need. If we want to take our country back, it starts at the top of the ticket down. Most time in politics, you work your way up, or you start in the middle and work your way up, right? But for the presidential election, to take our nation back, is literally a top-down scenario, and it all starts with energy independence, revitalization in our resources, especially along the southern border. We're going to make sure that we retain America for what it was and kick out this new socialist economy that we've got ourselves into. Now, let's get to these last three really quick. Now, Democrats may pull off some shenanigans in some of these districts, like Maine's 1st and Maine's 2nd, but Nebraska at large over here, that I believe, after seeing what the failed attempts with the farmers and all the resurgency around, illegal migrants shifting in and people getting doxxed and people having their farms taken away, this is going to happen. I believe Nebraska at large is going to be all about Donald Trump come November in 2024. So that is this prediction as far as what could happen, what will happen, what we want to happen, but it's all up to you. It's all up to us as voters, as we need to make sure that we get out the vote in 2024. Anyway, I hope you guys like this post today. Let's see what we can do. Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow between now and November 5th, because we are going to make sure that this election is in the books for the GOP as far as the president is concerned. Anyway, I want to thank all of you guys. You guys are taking time out of your day to watch this. I want to thank you once again. God bless. We'll catch you tomorrow. And remember, every day in the month of August, we are going to promote at least 1 or 2 videos every single day to make sure that you have every bit of information out there. Anyway, thanks for watching this podcast. And let's go America, shall we? See you guys.